Football is a game where the stakes are always high, and when it comes to transfers, things get even crazier. We're talking record-breaking, jaw-dropping, ridiculously expensive deals that make headlines around the world. But here's the real question: were these astronomical transfer fees actually worth it? In this video, we're diving into some of the most expensive football transfers ever. We'll break down the expectations, the performances, and the ultimate impact of these massive signings. Were they the game changers their clubs hoped for, or were they just a massive waste of money? From big names to even bigger price tags, we're about to take a look at the most expensive transfers in football history and decide, were they worth it? 1. Neymar Barcelona to PSG 2017. €222 million. Let's kick things off with the transfer that made history. Neymar's move from Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain in 2017 for a staggering €222 million was by far the most expensive transfer in football history. And to be honest, it still is. I mean, we've all seen the memes, right? Neymar literally became the first player to be worth $500 million in one move. Now, was it worth it? Let's break it down. Neymar's talent is undeniable. At Barcelona, he was already an integral part of that terrifying attacking trio: MSN, Messi, Suarez, Neymar. But at PSG, he was handed the keys to the club. He became the focal point of their attack. And let's not forget, he was a key player in their Champions League run and French dominance. But c'est that price tag, in terms of immediate returns, PSG got their hands on a world-class player who has delivered multiple league titles, domestic cups, and an almost there Champions League final. But many argue that the lack of European success has haunted PSG's investment. So was it worth it? The verdict: Neymar is worth it in terms of talent and commercial value. However, for PSG to truly justify that price, they'll need a Champions League trophy. That's what they bought him for. 2. Kylian Mbappe. As Monaco to PSG 2017, €180 million. Okay, sticking with PSG, this one's a little different. Kylian Mbappe's transfer from Monaco to PSG for €180 million was a deal that looked like a steal when you look at his rise over the next few years. I mean, we're talking about a World Cup winning prodigy who was already lighting up League One, and he was just 19 years old at the time. But did PSG overpay? Mbappe's value shot up almost immediately, and even though that €180 million fee was massive, the guy has delivered in spades. He's not only one of the best players in the world, but he's also been central to PSG's dominance in France. Add to that his performances on the international stage, scoring goals for fun in the World Cup and the Euros, and it's safe to say he's one of the best investments in football. The verdict: absolutely worth it. Mbappe has the potential to go down as one of the greatest players of all time. That €180 million, bargain when you consider what he's brought to the table. 3. Cristiano Ronaldo, Manchester United to Real Madrid 2009, €94 million. In 2009, Cristiano Ronaldo made the jump from Manchester United to Real Madrid for a record €94 million. The expectations were sky high. Ronaldo had already proven himself as one of the best at United, but Real Madrid didn't just want a good player. They wanted a superstar to lead their Galacticos era, and boy, did he deliver. Over the course of his 9 seasons at Madrid, Ronaldo helped lead them to 4 Champions League titles, 2 La Liga titles, and a slew of personal accolades, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Real Madrid's success, their global brand, and the staggering amount of revenue they generated with Ronaldo as their poster boy make this transfer a huge success. The verdict: no question, this was worth every penny. Ronaldo gave Madrid more than they could have imagined, and the €94 million fee now looks like a bargain for what he brought to the club. 4. Jack Grealish, Aston Villa to Manchester City 2021, €117 million. When Manchester City broke the British transfer record with Jack Grealish's €117 million move from Aston Villa, the football world raised its eyebrows. Grealish had been a standout for Villa, but was he really worth over €100 million? Let's not forget, this wasn't just about footballing ability. This was also a statement of intent. Grealish was one of England's best talents, and City were getting a creative genius who could make things happen in the final third. So far, his performances have been mixed. At times, Grealish has dazzled with his ball control, dribbling, and creativity. But in terms of raw output, goals, and assists, he's not quite hit the heights people expected. The verdict: not yet worth it for the fee. Grealish has a ton of potential, and he's still contributing to City's success. But to truly justify that price tag, he'll need to deliver more consistently in terms of direct contributions. The jury's still out on this one. 5. Philippe Coutinho, Liverpool to Barcelona, 2018. 145 million. Here's one of the most disastrous transfers in recent history. Barcelona dropped 145 million euros to bring Philippe Coutinho from Liverpool, and they were hoping to get the player who could replace Neymar and deliver in their attack. But things didn't quite go as planned. Coutinho struggled to adapt to the Barcelona style, and his form dropped dramatically. He was loaned out to Bayern Munich, where he had a brief resurgence, helping Bayern win the Champions League, but his time at Barcelona has largely been considered a massive flop. The signing didn't bring the immediate rewards that Barcelona were hoping for, and the fee now looks like a huge overpayment. The verdict, not worth it. At least for Barcelona, Coutinho's move was a disaster. He didn't live up to the price tag, and now Barca's financial mess is even worse because of it. 6. Antoine Griezmann, Atletico Madrid to Barcelona, 2019. 120 million. Griezmann's move to Barcelona was supposed to be the final piece of the puzzle. Barcelona were looking for a new star to help them compete at the top of Europe, and Griezmann, having led Atletico Madrid to multiple trophies, seemed like the ideal candidate. But after a solid first season, Griezmann never quite fit into Barcelona's system. His performances weren't bad, but they weren't the game-changing displays Barcelona had hoped for. After a rocky few years, Griezmann returned to Atletico Madrid on loan, and many considered the transfer a failure. The verdict, not worth it. Barcelona paid 120 million euros for a player who never really delivered the level of consistency they needed. It was a costly mistake, especially considering Griezmann's eventual return to Atletico. So were they worth it? When it comes to football's most expensive transfers, the answer isn't always clear-cut. Some deals, like Mbappe's and Ronaldo's, were undeniably worth the money, delivering trophies, global recognition, and value beyond the transfer fee. Others, like Grealish and Coutinho, are still a work in progress, while some, like Griezmann, are best forgotten. But one thing's for sure, when you spend big in football, you're always taking a gamble. Sometimes you win big, other times not so much. What do you think? Were any of these transfers worth it in your eyes? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure you like and subscribe for more breakdowns of football's biggest moves.